Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today I'm going to do a features inspection on what is probably the most anticipated yacht that I've ever done, the CL Yachts CLX 96. This takes the company in a whole new direction, and I think they did a beautiful job on it. Let's look at the big picture first before we get on board. I'm seeing what looks like an expedition cruiser with the forward rigged windshield, all the lines moving forward. Just has that strength and solid look that we see in an expedition cruiser, but under the surface there's so much more. CL Yachts is a division of Choi Lee, which builds tugs, freighters, ocean-going vessels with strength and integrity, and that is carried on to their yachts. So in addition to this boat having so much strength of build, it's also got a more feminine and classy look to it, for the lack of a better term. If you look down the sides, you can see that there are curves to the hull. There are no sharp lines. Look at the way the whole side of the boat is contoured, the way the bulwarks dip down so we have a better view going out the side of the boat. And that carries through the whole boat as we walk through. Now that strength of build that I was talking about comes from the architectural table of Al Horseman. The interior design, the overall scheme of the boat, that comes from the pen of Joseph Farakis and Earl Alfaro. Let's take a look at how they've done, and we'll start with the interior. We move through the interior through these stainless steel frame sliding glass doors. They're electrically actuated. Bug screen would be nice in this position, but it opens up 6 full feet. Now, as I come inside and take a look, my first impression is open, airy, floor-to-ceiling windows, so much natural light. In addition to that, single level from this aft deck all the way to the forward settee. To the port-hand side, there's an L-shaped sofa wrapping around a coffee table. Opposing seating consists of 2 freestanding chairs with tables in between. There's a drop-down TV in the ceiling. Here's a structural support right here that goes all the way down and into the hull. And this serves as the only division between the salon and now the dining area. This has a table that can seat 6, or it's expandable to seat 8. Again, windows to both sides. Here we've got a door that opens huge, and that combined with the aft door really serves to bring the outside in. And then that brings us to the galley area where we've got 3 bar stools, small counter space which makes a nice little breakfast nook, and then just across to the starboard side, cabinet for our stemware, and then a wine chiller. The galley is L-shaped. There's an island which adds to the functionality. That includes a double basin stainless steel sink, trash compactor over to the side. There's plenty of storage going all the way around and above. I really like the design work with all of this wood here, but it's not just ornamental, it's also functional. And if you want ice for these drinks, right below is the ice maker. As for appliances, I want to say the usual cast of appliances, but these are upper level, all from Bosch. Microwave, induction cooktop, convection oven below, dishwasher. And then for refrigeration, there are 2 freezer drawers. These are by Sub-Zero, and then for the refrigerator, it's a full-size Sub-Zero over to the starboard side. Now, where I pointed out the design styling of those structural members that separate the salon from the dining area and then again from the galley, there's one more separation as we move into this area where the sofa is, and that's a transition going into the wood overhead. Over to the starboard side, there's a watertight door to the starboard side deck, as well as a day head. And then we have a companionway leading below to the accommodations. Let's take a look. Now, the first stateroom we'll take a look at is the master, which is located forward. This stateroom is full beam, 6 feet, 8 inches overhead clearance. It's got a center mounted berth that measures 80 inches by 76 inches. Hull side windows to both sides. There's a settee here over to the starboard side, and I like how the design styling comes up into a counter that includes a vanity with lights. Just ahead, 65-inch TV. Now this can be connected to a camera that is located on the bow. So from the position in the berth, you've got a whole horizon and out to the sides. Let's talk about storage for a minute. There are drawers under the nightstands. There are 4 drawers underneath the berth. There's a hanging locker over to the starboard side. There's storage underneath the TV, and then again over to the port hand side, more storage. And there's an additional locker right at the entrance. But my favorite feature, this skylight. What a beautiful feature to have over the master berth. And of course, there's an electric shade that can be closed across. Now notice that the wood treatments that we saw on the main deck are repeated here as well. And they carry forward to both sides of the forward bulkhead, which gives us access to our couple's heads. Let's take a look. To both sides, there's a vessel sink, storage underneath, hull side window, storage just beyond, mirrored cabinet with storage. There's a mirror on the outside and on the inside, plus inside the door, allowing you to get multiple views of Captain Steve. Now at the aft bulkhead, another storage cabinet behind the wood treatment door. That's repeated here, along with the 2 storage lockers behind the mirrored doors, and then another vessel sink with the hull side window. Just forward, there's a water closet, a shower with rainfall, and a handheld wand, diffused basin deck, and then another water closet. And notice that when we utilize the water closet, we can have privacy at the touch of a button. Now, as we make our way aft, there are 2 guest staterooms, one to either side. They're mirror images of one another, and both include dual berths separated by 19 inches, and both of them are en suite. The VIP is located aft. The VIP is also full beam. Berth is 80 inches by 60 inches, hull side windows to both sides. There's a TV at the forward bulkhead, and above there's a skylight. But how can that possibly be? Because there's a salon over our heads here. Actually, it's a virtual skylight. There's a camera on the overhead that is pointing towards the sky, so we're seeing the sky in real time. More of the wood treatments are continuing here. To the starboard side, the same settee that we saw in the master stateroom, again curving up into a vanity. More storage just ahead. This has a hanging locker and then drawer storage underneath. And then we have the head compartments, water closet to one side, shower to the other with 2 vessel sinks in between, facing a hull side window. The aft deck represents probably the first gathering area as we come aboard the CLX 96, and it's expansive. There's a drop-down TV. It's a serving area over to the starboard side with a sink and storage underneath. The aft bench, CL Yachts has taken it to another level and made it so that all of them, or any of them, can come out and form chaise lounges, much like we see here. Bring this one out and now we have U-shaped seating, or leave the 2 side ones in, bring the center one out. Several options are available. This is all protected under the extended flying bridge overhead, 6 feet 11 inches off the deck. Making our way to the bow, take a look at this. Average width, 21 inches. Notice also that there's protection to the side decks overhead. And these are really thick 2-inch rails. And at the bow, a lot of versatility going on. We've got curved seating to the back and then to the 2 sides, making it almost a circle, but not quite because we have walk-through space. The tables, hardwood, high-gloss finish. They match the contours of all the seats. And these are all on high-low pedestals, so we can drop them down, add filler cushions, make them all into sun pads. Additionally, these cushions can all lift into chaise lounge positions. So if you take these seat backs off, now you have a lounge going all the way across, and that happens to both sides. There are beverage holders to both sides, LED lighting, and of course we can put a Mediterranean sunshade in this area as well. Large storage compartments are to both sides, including dedicated storage for the awning. Now what's really unusual are the stairs to the flying bridge. Notice that they're angled aft. We don't usually see that. In fact, this is probably the first time I have ever seen it. And I really like the way it works, because if you're underway and the bow comes up a little bit, Now you're walking at even more of a comfortable angle rather than the typical climbing up the stairs to the flying bridge. So let's take a look at the flying bridge. We'll access from these stairs. There's also another set of stairs just to the starboard side of the galley. Okay, well, first impression, wow, there is a lot going on here and they really did a nice job on it. Let's start right next to me here with a propane grill, plenty of open counter space as a working surface, rail going alongside that, and then storage underneath. Lots of open deck space that we can populate with lounge chairs. There's a table over to the side wrapping around an L-shaped settee. And then there's a lounge over to the port hand side with another serving area just in front of that. Notice also that this extended hardtop has an opening sunroof. We can add a Mediterranean sunshade to this area. Fully forward, there are 3 bar stools, and this is at a bar just separating the interior with the exterior. We can drop down this glass panel, open up the glass door, and now we're really blending the inside with the outside. And just inside this bar, there's a wet bar serving area. Let's take a look at the wet bar from the inside now. Solid surface counter, stainless steel single basin sink, ice maker, storage, 2 refrigerated drawers, and bottle storage. Over to the port hand side, sofa running along the full length until we get to the helm. Make yourself aware that there's a step as we come forward. Counter space over to the starboard side, storage underneath, and there's a 50-inch TV on an electric lift. It's also on a swivel. With the 2 side windows down, the aft window and the door open, we're literally blending the inside with the outside. As we move forward ahead of the flying bridge deck, there's usually a Portuguese bridge that wraps around the pilot house, and that's a place where the captain can have a protected area to view the waters ahead while being outside. CL Yachts has a much different take on it, and look what they did with it. They literally expanded the bulwarks fully forward and made another gathering area ahead of the pilot house. Just a brilliant design feature, and they did a stunning job with it. All teak decking, room for 3 chaise lounges, bench seating to both sides. Now, imagine this along with the forward gathering area that we already showed you, and picture the privacy that you can have on this boat while it's med-moored and still enjoying the sun. The swim platform is accessed from stairs to both port and starboard, and it's enormous. Huge spot for entertaining, relaxing with some deck chairs, or storing the water toys. Now, what's missing from this equation? The hydraulic platform that drops down and gives us a private beach. But watch this. We can have this in the lowered position, so it's underwater, an elevated position, so it can give us a little bit more of a view, or we can stow it completely. And if you decide to med-moor this yacht, it also makes an excellent passerelle. It's got a 700 kilogram lift capacity, so we can also use it for launching tenders, but there's a better way. Right underneath this hatch, there's a deck crane. Notice also, we can put up a Mediterranean sunshade and protect this whole area. This new yacht signals a clear intention on the part of CL Yachts to come up with a yacht that is all new in styling and breaks the mold from what we normally see, and I think it really works. I also like its handling, but that's in another video. Be sure to look for it. For now, this is my full features inspection of the all-new CLX 96 from CL Yachts. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.